Now Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group joins us so we can learn more about investing for our future tax efficiently. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn, and hey, welcome to March. I love it when it's March because that means February is behind us. Marilyn, Leslie and I spend a lot of our time on Saturday mornings with you talking about planning, proactive, thoughtful steps you can be taking today to ensure the best outcome for you and people and causes you care about over the long term. And rightly so, because planning is your vision, your creative imagination that helps create your future. And as Yogi Berra used to say, if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. But sometimes current events right here, right now, need just as much attention. Sometimes, like today, the war in the Ukraine has many people worried about the people of Ukraine, of course, also how this might affect us here in Canada, including how it might impact your investments and your ability to live the life that you want. And it's times like today, like the turmoil that we're facing today, that I like to remind people of the 3 golden rules of investing. Number 1, stay invested unless there are overwhelming signs of an imminent recession. Number 2, don't sell good quality assets at a bad time. And number 3, this too will pass. Since the war broke out, since it was declared a war, not surprisingly, I've had a lot of worried calls. As an example, Joanne and her husband Will asked for a virtual meeting with me last week. Their question, rooted in worry, was a simple one. The war in the Ukraine is a real war, and you never know what can happen once that starts. Should we be selling our investments now and going to cash? Well, firstly, it's absolutely normal to worry about such far-reaching global events and think about how it might impact you and to feel worried about it. It's on the mind of a lot of people around the world. And secondly, of course, I don't know. No one knows for sure how this ultimately will turn out, what will happen. Our hope is that cooler heads will prevail. But what I do know, as an investor in the market for decades and decades, and with all of history on my side, is that the 3 golden rules of investing have stood the test of time, many different circumstances. The 3 golden rules have been rock solid and reliable over time and in the face of many different world events. So when Joanne and Will got on the virtual call together, we started by getting a firm grounding, a clear understanding of where they currently are. And we always do that with all of our clients with our personal roadmap. And the first part of a personal roadmap is looking at your progress. Where are you relative to the planning we did a few years ago? And even with the recent pullback in the stock market, they, Joanne and Will, were still well ahead of where we forecast they would be in 2020. So they were in good place. Their vision, the things they wanted to get done, the way they wanted to enjoy their lives, had not changed from the last year that we checked in with them. They're on track. All of their planning is in place. Wills, executors, power of attorneys, letter of wishes, financial checklist, proper legacy planning. All of these things were solid check marks. So their footing was solidly in place. So from there, we moved on to look at their investments and have a look forward, because of course investments are an integral part of people living the lifestyles they want to live. And when it came to investments, I started talking about the 3 rules of investing. Number 1, stay invested unless there is an imminent risk of recession. All of the major research firms assign a very low probability of economic recession in North America. Therefore, carry on. It doesn't mean no adjustments. Some small and minor adjustments should be made. It does, by and large, mean stay the course. We do not see an economic recession in North America. Don't rush to too much cash or low risk. Golden rule of investing number 2, don't sell good quality assets at a bad time. As a result of economic growth and inherent inflation, the value of quality assets like bank stocks, your home, and other valuables go up over time. Don't succumb to someone else's stinky bid that will make lots of money for them when you sell. In order to avoid selling good quality assets at a bad time, remember to keep 2 to 3 years worth of your living expenses on the sidelines just in case. That's particularly true if you're retired. And number 3, my grandmother's favorite, this too will change. On August the 2nd of 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait. The S&P 500 declined 16.9%. It had recovered in only 6 months. The Canadian stock market back in August 1990 was at 3,500. Today it's at 21,000. That's a 597% increase. Don't ignore what's going on. Speak to your professional advisor. Talking it out will help you stay on track despite the turmoil and follow the 3 golden rules of investing. If you want to learn more about a personal roadmap process, please feel free to call.
Do you still have the booklet, the roadmap?
We do, yes.
So if anyone's interested, all they really have to do is call you, and you can send it out to them either by email or hard copy. I think I have some hard copies in my store, Darren. 416-863-7501. Don't panic. Don't worry, even though it's natural to worry. Get answers from the experts and follow solid advice. Darren Farwell and the Farwell team will be glad to speak to you at 416-863-7501. Thank you, Darren. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
You're welcome, Marilyn. Always a pleasure. Bye for now.